Hello Exiles, this is Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming and welcome to another Path of Exile 2 video. Today's video I'm going to go over the beginning of the end game update for my currently level 68 Invoker, Tri-elemental Invoker, which I'll explain a little bit later, but basically I added fire damage onto my build, so I have a little bit of tech here and there. I'm just going to do a map to demonstrate because people asked for clear speed in the comments. I'm going to turn my sound down a little bit because I can't hear myself speak, so we'll get all of that down. Sound effects maybe down even more. There you go. Okay. There you go. And we'll do some clear speed, then I'll go over my skill tree, gear, all of that kind of stuff. I plan on making a campaign guide and going over gearing. So I'll go over some of the basic gearing because people asked how I had such good gear last time in this video, and I'll try to put timestamps, and then in my next video I'll go over everything in more detail one Okay, so drop the bell. And big shout out to whoever, one of the people in the comments told me about the bell, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that skill existed. And it's really improved my single target along with unbound ailments, which I got through my ascendancy. I have some fun tech with that. Oh, freeze is okay. Luckily the freeze duration isn't very long. Yeah, that's why we read strong boxes. Oh no, it's these guys. Okay. I need to figure out where the last enemies for the strongbox went. Did they run away in here? Yeah, I'm not really sure how strongboxes work, if they trickle out. Is that what this darkness is? Is that them coming out of that? When is it gonna open? This is all very new to me. I haven't run into a strongbox yet. So, is this guy over here part of the strongbox, or these guys? Yep, apparently. Okay. Oh, drops a decent amount of loot, not much that I want particularly. You might also notice that I have a loot filter. So I will put the link to the loot filter, but basically Neversink released a pretty basic loot filter. It doesn't actually filter anything out, but it does highlight important items. So yeah, the clear style, I need to watch out for the chaos stuff here. Oh, prismatic ring, I might want to craft on that. I need to watch out for chaos damage because I only have 10% chaos resistance. And it looks like there are enemies here that have chaos damage. So yeah, some of the maps that I've played so far, I've only done a couple, have been pretty big and windy. It looks like the Burning Ground isn't too bad, but I also have just under capped fire resist. So yeah, it looks like as long as you're capping your fire resist, rolling Burning Grounds on maps probably won't be an issue. Because I only have 1% or 1.3 maybe percent regen. Alright, drop the bell. If it takes longer than a little bit, I can also use my elemental or unbound avatar, which will give me 40% more damage plus a bunch of additional ailment stacking stuff. But yeah, mostly everything kind of just freezes. You dash from pack to pack with your Ice Strike, and it is very effective at clear. Between Ice Strike and I'm currently running double Heralds, you don't really need too much. Yeah, my defenses are okay, but as you can see, I can take big chunky hits. However, it's fairly infrequent, and because we do have a good amount of evade, and I have armor, I have resistances, pretty much. I mean, I'm not capped or anything for resistances, so stuff like that. Good amount of lightning damage. I have 58 lightning resist. Prefer to have everything kept up, but I should probably pay attention. It looks like there's some fairly high damage enemies here. Yeah, and some blues can take a little to kill if you don't do anything special too. But grab another waystone. Yeah, the map clear is certainly a little bit different with how windy these maps are and with lacking the movement skills, but they also don't seem to all have map bosses. Yeah, I'll just pump my Unbound avatar just to kill those fast enough to be safe. Oh, and of course, as soon as I do that, here's an essence, but the bell is insane. So, boom. You can just drop the bell on pretty much anything that might give you trouble. And the nice thing about essences, and I'll probably spec into essences, is that I will be able to drop them beforehand. So I'll see the essence. If I've fought anything recently, I'll have combo built up. I think it's like 8 seconds. So if I fought anything within the last 8 seconds, here's another strongbox. Okay. Oh, and this one has ice spikes. What's my cold resist at? Cold is at 60, so not sure how much damage these would do. But I'll have to make sure and hit my... I kind of want to tank it. I'm a little bit in the experimental phase. I probably shouldn't be because, unlike in POE 1, okay, seems like they do chunk pretty good. Strong boxes are a bit slow, so I might not spec into strong boxes. However, it looks like they do drop a lot, so maybe it is worth it after all, because, you know, just the amount of loot comparative to POE 1 is, and the spawn radius too. They don't all spawn like right on top of it. They spawn kind of all over the place. Oh, and apparently they can spawn on top of you while moving. This one, despite being a rare strongbox, only dropped gold in 1 item though. So I guess mileage may vary. The blue one that I had dropped like 10 items, and that one dropped 1 item and some gold. Alright. Still getting used to all of the differences in POE 1 and 2. I do enjoy it. I think it is... you know, I like the more deliberate, like, gearing and everything. It's not frantically filtering out for very specific item types and very quickly moving on to the point where you're just filtering out 99% of loot. Not everybody's gonna like that, but I'm personally a big fan. Okay, these guys hurt. I can just actually, you know, use... Can I drop my bell here? There you go. Okay. And Unbound Avatar. We're gonna have to use all the tools because this guy is a beast. There you go. That was probably the toughest rare I've run into so far. Very, very strong seeming, but yeah, I have no idea about this map layout. It just seems like a grid of random doors and corridors. And the backtracking isn't great when you don't have a move skill either. I do only have 20% move speed on my boots at the moment, but I don't anticipate 10% making all the backtracking feel any better. And I don't have completion yet, so I have to... Normally, if I hit a dead end like this and I had like map completion, I would just portal back and say, alright, good enough. Good enough. What is a utility belt? Okay. I always check out new base types if I haven't seen them. For when I was having gold issues, I would always pick up any kind of jewelry, belts being the most common because relatively they sell for more gold. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, damage. Okay. Drop the bell. Drop Unbound Avatar. Yeah, we need to burst that down. A lot of times the key is going to be killed. Oh, I didn't even get to drop my Unbound Avatar. The key is going to be to kill the enemy before they kill you. So, yeah, always pick up your quality weapons, especially if you have room quality armor. But I have plenty of armor scraps and not very many whetstones at the moment, so kind of just mindful of what I need. And okay, the damage is there. You know, normally if there isn't too much going on, you can kind of just face tank things. 2. Okay, so now I get to walk all the way down to this bottom left corner that I left open. So yeah, I need to figure out a way to more systematically deal with maps because of just how big they are. You know, it would be interesting if I was faster. But really, that's probably the biggest complaint I have is like the tedium of backtracking. In the campaign, it's not so bad because there's checkpoints everywhere. So if you put yourself in a long winding corridor or something, and you're way far away and need to walk back, all you have to do is press escape and go to reset checkpoint. But that doesn't appear to be an option in maps. Oh, does this one actually have a boss? What's going on here? Invisible? Alright, well, I can't see you. Alright, I guess that was maybe a boss, or maybe it was just a rare, hard to say. Okay, so let's go over all of the gearing and everything. I'm just gonna run over and disassemble. Oh, huh. I ended up down here instead. Okay. I don't know if that's normal. For blue items, I will usually just salvage them if they're quality, whereas if they're rare, I'll either disenchant. Alright, what do we got here? Addern's Tusks. Okay. That doesn't seem great, but that's fine. Alright. And, oh yeah, you can talk to Doriani here to identify. And that's bad, and I'm crafting that, and that's not great either. So I'm currently looking for Regal Orbs, and I have decent amount of gold, so I'll get Regal Shards, and then I'll sell this, and I did not level up, so these will be the same. Alright, stash everything. That's right, there is no map tab, so just got to put them in here. Alright, so now I will go over my skill tree currently, and then I'll go over the gear. Currently, skill tree looks like this. I've just started going crit, so very similar to my first update. Up through flow state, essence of the storm, essence of the mountain, blinding strike. I did get harness the elements, and also the big tech that I wanted to reveal is up here. Climate change. Gain 25% of cold damage as extra fire damage against frozen enemies. This is pretty huge, and it gives me the ability to ignite. Which adds a third element, which makes Stormbreaker, which gives 15% increased damage for each elemental ailment on the enemy, and Harness the Elements, which does the exact same thing, extra damage. So very big upgrade there. I also have a little bit of fire damage on my quarterstaff currently. But yeah, other important things, Echoing Thunder and Echoing Frost. Yeah, I did go all the way to one with the river, so my freeze buildup is incredible. I freeze things pretty quickly. Once I get some more damage, I am currently in the process of crafting a couple of staves or quarterstaves, and I'll show that. I have to remember there are different staffs and quarterstaves. But yeah, went through all of that. Got Coming Calamity. This is a huge damage upgrade. And now I'm running Herald of Thunder, and I'll go over my skills a little more in detail after this. I got Falcon Technique. It's just a decent amount of extra attack speed. Currently, I'm getting probably, 8% attack speed from it, but going through here, helped give me some more dex. I am going to need to get some more intelligence at some point as well. Maybe not, because I don't think I'm going spellcaster hybrid at the moment like I was planning to. I think I'm actually just going to stay an attack build. And mostly the reason for doing that is because of Tempest Spell. So yeah, that's kind of the updates to the tree. I've just started adding crit, so I got Critical Exploit, Moment of Truth, and next I will go down and get Heart Stopping, Heartbreaking, and Stuck Through. So I'll get these nodes for my following so many levels. I'll have to go double check to make sure I didn't miss anything on the skill tree. After that, I'd like to get some defense. So there's like some recoup here. There's also this stuff up here which gives recoup, and also I think there's actually something right here that actually gives percent life, which this is the only thing that gives percent life on the tree, but I don't think it's worth traveling through there. And there's lots of other stuff to consider, like there's all these cold and damage and things here. There's a really nice freeze buildup thing here, but I think so like I could loop around here and grab these two, but I think my Ascendancy is going to take care of this. I haven't gotten my third Ascendancy yet, but it's going to be Sunder My Enemies now that I'm going crit. The reason I haven't gotten it yet is because I really do not like ultimatums, specifically because of the escort. I don't like escorting the stone, especially as melee, but I loved Sanctum in POE 1, and I quite liked the Trial of the Sekimas, so I was waiting to get a Jinbaria with 3 trials, and I just got one, so I'll be able to go get my third Ascendancy that way. If you didn't know, you can use either Ascendancy method, Ultimatum, or Sanctum, or Trial of the Sekimas it's called now. You can, but for the Ascendancy of it, you need the amount of trials for the Ascendancy. So to go from 1 Ascendancy, or your first 2 Ascendancy points to your next 2, you have to have 2 floors or whatever. You have to have 2 trials. And to go from the following to the Ascendancy I'm going to, you need to have 3 trials. So that's the important thing there. Now I'll go over the skills. So still on a 4 link on my Ice Strike. So it is Ice Strike, currently level 14. I haven't found any higher level skill gems yet that I've noticed. I might have to peek through my stash to see if I've found any. Let's see. So 14, I have plenty of 14s. Do I have any 15s? Nope, not yet. So currently level 14 with 1% quality. I got 1 Gem Cutter's Prism. This gives more attack speed, so I do want to quality this all the way up to 20. Then I have Martial Tempo still, Primal Armament, and Close Combat. I haven't changed any of that. My next link is probably going to change because I found a more interesting way of generating rage when I actually need it, which is on my newest and most interesting skill, Tempest Bell. So Tempest Bell basically is something you can use after hitting with your combo generating attack, which is Ice Strike 4 times, or whatever other attacks. You need to hit 4 things within a certain duration for the combo to apply. And then after you've hit things 4 times, you can drop this bell. What the bell does is you can hit the bell, and because Ice Strike is AoE, you're also hitting the things around it simultaneously, so you're kind of double dipping. It has a pretty high damage multiplier when you drop it, 257, so it's kind of like an individual nuke. But more importantly, when you hit it, you trigger shockwaves every time you hit it, which also have decent attack damage multipliers. But more importantly, they have additional effects here. So They deal 30% more damage per elemental ailment afflicting the bell. We inflict 3, so that nearly doubles our damage, so it's putting us probably at about 320 attack damage percent functionally. And it also converts all the damage over to the various types. And then it kind of shockwaves out and does damage that way. So, interesting thing I'm doing with that is this is an attack. So I put rage on it. So and it's a melee attack. It's got the melee tag. So I put rage support on it, which every time it pulses out, it'll generate me 3 rage. I also have Font of Rage, which supports objects. The bell is an object, and that puts a little radius around it where I get 2 rage regeneration per second when I'm in the radius. These 2 generate my rage very quickly. And yeah, I can drop the bell before my rage drops down usually, especially if I'm face tanking, because rage will stay up if you're taking damage. And so I'll be able to very quickly hit 30 rage, which is 30% more attack damage. And then I have leverage, which supported skills have 50% increased critical hit chance against immobilized enemies. So basically my thought process behind this is a lot of times I'm dropping the bell to burst damage when I have them frozen. And immobilized includes frozen, pinned, heavy stunned, and electrocuted. Pinned and electrocuted I can't do, but I can freeze and heavy stun. So drop this when they're immobilized, and boom. With my staff, that's like 6.23. That's 6.23 increased crit chance on my Tempest spell. Which at a baseline before that, the crit chance is going to be 20.56%. So it goes up almost 20 to 27%. And that'll just increase as I keep scaling my stuff. Then I'm running double Heralds. Herald of Thunder with Lightning Infusion and Precision. So basically what this will do is when I shock an enemy, I will get a couple of bolts that'll drop down and do damage, and for 3 attacks. And if you quality it, this goes up, and I believe it goes up by level as well. So that's pretty nice, and it does like a little AoE around them, and it does 163% attack damage. So kind of scaling that with this, and it doesn't say it can't shock, so that can additionally shock. And then I have Precision. Just so I don't have to worry about accuracy, and because I had 10 spare spirit, that's the main reason it's there. Precision's probably the least important thing on my spirit setup. Herald of Ice, I have linked with Clarity and Vitality. Clarity, I just need regen. Regen's just nice, so I don't have to spam my flasks all the time. This build is very mana intensive, and if I didn't have like nice mana and some mana regen on some of my gear, which I'll go over a little bit, I would have a hard time sustaining my actual ice strikes, whereas I still have to press mana flasks every once in a while, but it's not very frequent because of things like mana regen on tree and clarity. So then I have Wave of Frost. This is another big change I made. My other very important skill, I've actually put Ice Bite on this. So ideally, when you're doing a boss, the way you want to approach this is you kind of watch until they're kind of close to freeze. You can see under their name the percent, under their health bar, the percent of how frozen they are, how much freeze buildup they have. And if you can time this and get that, you'll have a 3-second window where you're getting 35% of damage as cold damage on all of your attacks. So this is just like a buff that'll proc from this. Then you of course have Glaciation and Deep Freeze. Deep Freeze makes freezes last forever. I've killed bosses within 1 freeze. Like I freeze them within 1 or 2 seconds, and then the freeze seems to last like 5 or 6 seconds at least. And I don't know if it actually has the base free. Oh, it's 4 seconds. So yeah, it'd be 6 seconds, assuming I don't have any more duration on my tree, which I forget if I do. But 6-second freeze is insane. That's a lot of damage to burst down the boss. Unbound Avatar, I have linked with Persistence, which gives more skill effect duration. So it goes from 9.7 seconds to 40% more of that, so just under 14 seconds. I have Cold Mastery. I have Ingenuity, which I don't think is doing anything. I should probably just replace that with Lightning Mastery. So this counts as Fire, Cold, and Lightning. And it gains a small amount of duration, just 0.1 seconds per spell level. And the spell level seems to go up just as you level up. So, yeah, these masteries are pretty much the only thing that really does anything here. So I just throw them in there. And it gives a little extra duration, almost 14 seconds for a huge boost. And then Frost Bomb, I've now got Arcane Tempo on it to cast it quicker. Strip Away, which makes exposure have increased effect. And Magnified Effect to give it bigger radius. I was playing around with Flicker Strike. I'm not actually using it at the moment, but if I do in the end game, I will let you know. And Freezing Mark, I don't even have anything linked in here because I can't think of anything particularly great that I want to link that I have the attributes to do. And I've kind of abandoned my cast on freeze setup too, just because the intelligence requirement to make it good will be much higher than I'm capable of doing now. So that is all of it. And I tried to be a little more methodical about going over that because, somebody mentioned that I went through it rather quick. If I still did, I will make sure to, have some sort of on-screen graphic when I do the guide video, which has everything printed out so that you can kind of pause it and read it as far as what the links are. As far as my gear goes, I have this quarterstaff, which I crafted I think maybe in Act 2 of Cruel difficulty. So it's item level 55, still using it. It's still pretty solid. Because it has really good attack speed, 1.71 base attacks per second. That scales up all of my attack speed quite nicely. It's got some extra crit chance, got some physical damage, got some fire damage. Unfortunately, no lightning damage or flat physical, but overall, it's served me fairly well. I've been using it for quite some time. I am currently working on crafting a replacement. So I have a couple of crafting projects here. I have this advanced crescent quarterstaff, which has a bunch of elemental damage with attacks and very high attack speed, 1.83. Then I have a crit damage bonus and flat lightning damage. I think the flat lightning damage might be a little low, and it's an advanced slicing quarterstaff, so its base damage is going to be a little bit higher than the crescent one because it's a higher base, 59 required level instead of 55. But yeah, let's see if I actually have some regals. I'll just slam them. Okay, I have a regal. This one looks more promising, and it's got flat fizz. So this is something I'm going to start working on as a replacement. And yeah, that should be helpful. It is the same type, but that increased elemental damage with attacks and higher attack speed is very enticing. If I can manage to hit % physical on it, I might have to abandon it entirely, but that's kind of what I do. I try to approach each piece of gear. I look for, item base types from the vendors, or I gamble them. I do a lot of gambling. And then I proceed to just, as I need it, get the currency. Like, if I'm not currently crafting any magic items, then I don't bother selling rares for regal shards. I just sell them for gold and accumulate gold so I can gamble. And then when I am currently working on an upgrade, I'll start getting regals, and then I will use them on whatever bases I have until I get an upgrade, and kind of rinse and repeat. The other thing I could do is just simply go over and gamble for a quarterstaff. I think right now my higher priority is a ring though, but going over the rest of the gear, I have this helmet with a good amount of life, couple resistances. I've been using this for a long time too, item level 39. I'm pretty keen to replace this at some point, but I don't know that it's a priority. It's fine, and it's corrupted. The corruption gave it, by the way, a second rune socket, which is one of the outcomes corruption can do. I think the quest corruption, there's in the campaign, there's a corruption font, I believe in Act 3, and I think I just threw this in to see what it would do, and a second rune socket popped up, but I couldn't exalt it anymore after that. So that's kind of the downside, is that once it's corrupted, you can no longer continue crafting on it. But I had a backup, so this was low risk, and I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. So that allowed me to get some extra lightning resist, which I needed. Body armor, I just crafted this one right at the end of Act 3. This is my most recent piece of gear, and I will probably exalt it 2 more times, which is what I think I can do. Hoping for some like high percentage armor evasion roll, or hybrid percentage armor evasion with flat life, and then another resistance would be ideal. This ring's probably my best piece of gear. I gambled this, just straight up gambled it. Came as is, didn't have to do any additional crafting. It is an excellent ring, best piece of gear I found in POE 2 so far. 108 life. It's got mana regeneration, kind of low mana, but I'm not complaining. Evasion, 2 resists. It's on a good resist ring type. Couldn't have asked for anything better. Level 58, so I probably got gambled for this like at the end of Act 2 Cruel. This is a pair of gloves that I made that is also very good. I did full craft this one, so I just found in the vendor a pair of gloves that had 116 max life, I think, at the time, or yeah, it would have been the 116 because there's no hybrid life roll here. And 30 fire resist. Then I regaled it and slammed 4 exalts, or 3 exalts on it. And this is the outcome. I'm very happy. Strength is very good because that gives me an additional like 54 life. So this thing is 170 life it's giving me, which is just insane. And it's armor evasion hybrid, which is what I like to use right now until I possibly change to evasion energy shield once I get good bases for that. Belt, I also gambled this belt, I think. Actually, no, I did find this one on the ground. It was 4 mod at the time, and I think I slammed the cold resist, which is excellent. I think it came with life, mana, charm duration, and charm used, or I might have slammed the mana. Either way, the extra mana and mana regen from these 2 items has really helped me sustain my mana, along with adding clarity. So very useful there. These are boots. I found these with the cold resist and movement speed, and then regaled, and currently use 2 exalts, and will maybe use a 3rd, although I'd like to roll higher movement speed boots, so maybe not. But at the time I was at 15% move speed boots with 1 resist and no life, so this was a big upgrade for me. This ring is the next thing I'm looking to replace. It sucks, but it gives me 41 fire resist, and without it, my fire resist goes from 73 to 32. So I do really need to replace this, but it might be tough until I can get fire resist on some other piece of gear. That's why I'm hoping that something like this prismatic ring will turn out okay. And lastly, this amulet, which I think I got right after I made my last video. This will need to be replaced at some point, but honestly, it's pretty good. I got it, yeah, level 44, so it would have been right around the time I made my last video. I think I gambled for this as well. So gambling has been a very successful strategy for accumulating gear, and that's why I think accumulating gold is going to be important. So just here, 22% rarity. That's actually a lot of rarity. 41% rarity. Okay, so I'm putting this in my magic find tab, And I've been just saving some gear with some magic or rarity on it. I'm not really sure how good magic finding is going to be, but if it does turn out to be good, this one has a lot. Although the rolls, it says 9 from 16 to 20, so that can't be right. Yeah, oh, those numbers don't add up. Okay, so 19. Okay, the inspect thing was in the way. Yeah, that's a lot of rarity. I'm going to see what I can do with that. So yeah, double rarity prefix and suffix on a prismatic ring. Might come in handy in the future. That's neat. I think right now what I'll do is I'll just kind of gamble for a couple rings, see how it goes. It's 14k, so it's going to eat up a lot of my gold. I'm going to save a little bit of gold so I can buy things from the vendors. Okay, that's one rare. Oh, that's a unique. Okay, so I actually got Whisper of the Brotherhood. 100% of cold damage converted into lightning damage, skill speed, mono regen rate. I can't actually use this because I need my cold damage for my build to work, but I think for another build this could be really solid. This is the kind of thing you can kind of build around for a whole build. Most of the uniques I've gotten have been fairly unexciting, but this one is quite interesting to me. Looks like I got decent skill speed roll on it as well, so kind of middling to a little above average rolls there. Neat. As far as other stuff, accuracy ring, that's a lot of accuracy. Maybe I'll make an accuracy stacker later on, so I'll kind of throw this in my if I get to it tab. Flat fizz and mono regen most importantly on amethyst ring. So yeah, I basically will see if I want to set. There's life, awesome, and there's lightning resist. Okay, so these are all craftable, so I'm gonna basically now be I'm gonna put these in my tab that I have just for kind of crafting things, and I'll be trying to farm up some regals. Since I might keep this as a backup. Yeah, I'll just keep this for now. No use in getting rid of it. And the Lazuli ring is bad. So 207 gold. All right. So that's kind of how I do gearing and stuff. Hopefully it's been a long video, but I did a map and I went over a lot of the details. Yeah, I should have timestamps and everything. So this has been Ryan from Behind Eyes Gaming. I'll see you next time. Bye.